reaction goes, you're not making it easy on me, are you? You are scattered for miles. If you actually want to hear what I have to say, can I recommend that you might want to come in just a little bit, all right? I've got a few people out there in the western suburbs. Just come on in. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. A very warm welcome to today's auction, being conducted here under authority to Ray White Real Estate in Pakenham. A few introductions to start with. I am clearly your auctioneer today. I'm the girl supposedly with the loud voice. Thank you for walking in. And my name is Joanne. I'm here to answer your questions, to give you the roadmap on how the auction's going to go, and hopefully I might be the first one to congratulate the lucky purchaser at the end of today's proceedings. We are assisted today and we are represented at Ray White's by a number of our staff, and a very warm welcome to all of them. Many of you have met Gavin over the back, listing agent. He's been here at most of the opens, always beautifully assisted by Ben. Many of you have met Ben as well. We also have Bonnie. Bonnie's going to be writing down our bids today. We do that at Ray White's because we like to be accountable to you, and we like to have a very transparent auction. So if at any stage you want to see where the bidding's at, just ask me and I'll get her to turn around the board. Okay, so that's Bonnie. We've also got Hayley, we've got Ash, we've got Michael, we've got Brenda. We've got quite a few of the team. So welcome to all of the Ray White team, and welcome to you. We are today privileged to be auctioning this property because this is a very tightly held area here on the hill in Waterford Rise. We have been privileged with this auction by our vendors, Douglas and Wendy Edinburgh, and we are selling here today. Number 3, darling, it's okay, sweetheart. Number 3, Cottage Link here in Pakenham. Now, let me just explain the roadmap for how the auction's going to go. First of all, I'm going to step you through the contract. It's been on display. Many of you I know have already availed yourself of the opportunity to show them to your legal representatives, so we won't spend a lot of time on the contract. I'm also going to explain to you some of the rules and the regulations under which we conduct an auction here in the state of Victoria. There's going to be a brief description of the property, and then we open it up for your bidding. I've just looked to the heavens, and you're going to get the Reader's Digest version so we don't get wet. Okay, let's first of all look at the contract. The contract states clearly that we sell the property for Douglas and Wendy Edinburgh, the property here at 3 Cottage Link in Pakenham, that it is lot 288 on volume 10879, folio 430. You don't need to know the numbers, they're all written in there. It describes and it shows this property at 462 square metres of land with a 14 metre frontage and 30 metres down the side. It goes on to show that the rates for the property are fractionally under $1,400 here in the Shire of Cardinia. It also shows that all necessary services, as you would expect in a leading premier subdivision, are all connected. So I think really that's probably all that we need to talk about with the contract. And as I say, I am speeding it up. I'm a bit worried by these clouds that are here. The next thing, though, that we have to consider, and this is very important, folks, this is the way that we govern an auction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is about us being clear, us being transparent, us being respectful of you, and we also ask of you that you are respectful of everybody else here. So, there's a few things. First of all, as the auctioneer, I have the right to determine the amount by which a bid may be offered, and I have the right on behalf of the vendor to accept or refuse any bid. If there is any dispute at any stage, ladies and gentlemen, I have the right to determine that dispute. And I might select the previous bid, I might resubmit the property for bidding at any time. This property is offered today subject to the vendor's reserve price, which has not been disclosed. The vendor has the right, which I'm sure they're not going to exercise, by the way, the right to withdraw the property from any time prior to the property being sold. Now, one thing I make very, very, very clear to you, ladies and gentlemen, very clear to you. Once I say this property is sold, and I bring this yellow document down to my hand and I say it is sold, please do not come up to us afterwards and endeavour to purchase it at a higher or a different price. That sort of nonsense does go on sometimes. It is not legal and it will not be entertained. If you wish to purchase this property, make your bidding very clear, make it very obvious so that we don't miss it. If I put in a vendor bid, which I also have the right to do, let me assure you, I will make that very clear as well. There's no bids off trees when you're with Ray White Pakenham and I'm the auctioneer. There's none of that. I will say if it's a vendor bid. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the contract. That is the rules and the behaviours from us and expected from you during the auction. Do I have any questions in relation to those at all? Any questions anywhere? Only question coming from you is, will she hurry up? It's cold out here. Okay, rightio. The property. You've been through it. You've seen it. Let's just recap. Yes, it's 12 years old. It's in beautiful condition. It's been well loved. It is extremely well situated. Extremely well situated here in the Waterford Rise part of the Lakeside subdivision. Tightly held real estate for a very good reason. The lake is not far away, train station's not far away, schools are not far away, easy to get out on the freeway. Thank you, sunshine. The latte sector's just around the corner. It's all here. And yet, look at this. It's not a main through road. It's just today that it's got busy because you're all here. And I thank you for being here. Inside, we've got lashings of storage. We've got a beautiful ensuite, double bowl in the ensuite. We've got that entertainer's kitchen with the casual dining to one side, the family, and then what they're currently utilising as a dining room. You could be using as another recreation space. Double garage with rear access. Evaporative cooling, ducted heating, tick, 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 tick. It's got it all here. This property is ready for a very astute buyer. Now, if you are an investor, why wouldn't you buy here? Do you think you're going to get a good choice of tenant? Do you think people are going to want to live here? I tell you, they are. So, for the owner-occupier, beautiful. And you won't move maybe for another 12 years, if you move even then. But for the investor, buy with confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about all we're going to say about the property. Do I have any questions? Any questions anywhere? I've got a question for you. Are you ready to bid? Are you ready to buy? Yes. So start me off. Go. Start me. Here we go. Do I see a bid anywhere? What am I bid for the property that the post office says 3 Cottage Links that you are going to say home? 400 I have. 400,000 I have on an opening bid, and I'm looking for $20,000 rises anywhere. $400,000 I have, and it's over on the left, and I'm looking for $20,000 rises. 400,000 I have. 400,000. You don't want to get rained on, folks. Come on now, start bidding. $400,000 over on my left. 400,000. I take your bid anywhere. Call me a bid, call it out. You're not here just because you're a lovely couple. You're here to buy. Come along now. 400,000 over here on the left-hand side. I wish I was taller at times like this. I really do. You've done well with the bubby with me shouting like this. $400,000. 400,000. We've got to get this done before the rain comes down. I'll take your tens. 410. 410 got. 410 got. It's against you, sir. 410 and it's straight out in front. $410,000 for the property at number 3 Cottage Link here in Pakenham. 420 have. 420 have and it's against you. $420,000 I have over here on the left-hand side. All of you beautiful people out here on the right, come on and start bidding. All the action's over this side at the moment. Are we right? $420,000 I have, and it's against you. $420,000 I have with a gentleman over here on the left. Would you like a little bit of time to think about it? I'll tell you a couple of things you might want to think about. You might want to think about how much time you have been spending looking for property. You might want to stop and think about how much prices are going up and how cheap interest rates are. You might want to stop and think how much this property is going to cost you in another 12 months' time. And you might want to start and think about putting a bid in, because things aren't getting cheaper and there's a good reason why. By the way, have you heard they're talking about putting an airport in? Yeah. There is everything going on in this neck of the woods. So, give it some thought. Let's hear your bidding. It's over with the gentleman on my left. We're at 420? 430 have. 430 have, and it's against you and it's against you. $430,000 I have out here on the right-hand side. $430,000 I have out here on the right-hand side, against you and against you. Do you want to come back in? 430, let's make it 440, shall we? 440 we got. $440,000 we got. Make it 450. That's not an easy, that's an easy number. 440 over here, make it 450 perhaps. Bidding's against yourself as well. Not a private party. Anybody can jump in. What about yourselves? You know you like the property. 400.
Could you take $1,000 increments at this stage, please, Mrs.
Would I... Mother? Mum, will you take fives? Yeah, I'll take fives. We'll go 445, thank you. 445 and it's made it easier for yourself. That's what your kids do to you, isn't it? Darn. $445,000 out here on the right-hand side. Against yourselves and against you, sir. $445,000 I have. Would you make it 450? 450 got. $450,000 we got. $450,000 we have for the first time.
We're 455.
Are we? 455. 455. They're a bit slow in. I reckon you've almost worn them out, by the way. $455,000 I have over here on the right-hand side. It is not a private party. $455,000 I have on 460 got. $460,000 I have. $460,000. Let me make life easier for you. You can choose the settlement. 30, 60, 90 days. We will even let you come in on a 5% deposit. That just made life a bit easier, didn't it? We will let you purchase here today on a 5% deposit. So, does that make life any easier? At $460,000. At $460,000 for the first time. At $460,000 for the second time. Ladies and gentlemen.
We've got 462.5, please.
Just give me a moment, thank you. I'll take the bid, 462.5, but I'm going to go inside and have a chat with our vendor. Just give me a moment. The vendor, we like to keep them informed. The bid is at $462,500. We will take a 5% deposit. You get to choose the settlement. Give it some thought. Be with you in a moment. Thank you for your patience, folks. One of our vendors is actually interstate, so we needed to get him on the telephone. Okay, the news is this. The news is this. This property is on the market to be sold. Make no mistake. The person holding the highest bid will now be the very, very lucky owner of this beautiful property here at Cottage Link. So, give that one some thought as I confirm your bid, sir, at $462,500. Thank you. Bid confirmed. 462 and a half, and I'll take you 2.5 anywhere. 462 and a half, 465 got. 465 straight in. $465,000. $465,000 is against you, sir, and it's against every single one of you. There is a great opportunity to purchase here. Do not walk away and say you will replace this tomorrow, because simply you won't. Not in such a good location.
We're 466. Can we go 1,000?
Oh, here we go. 466 got. 466 got. Can I have 467? You know what? They're only giving the little ones. If you went to 470, I reckon you wouldn't hear from them again. But you never know. $466,000. $466,000 for the first time. It's a good number for a New Zealander to be saying. $466,000. Oh, great. 467 and a half, and I thank you for your bidding. Thank you, sir. $467,500. $467,500, and it's on my left, and I'm looking straight at you.
470?
470. 470, new bidding, straight out in front. $470,000, straight out in front. And it's against you, sir, and it's against you. It's with the lady up the back. $470,000. And I will take you, I'll take anything, quite frankly, the way this is going. $470,000 for the first time. You've been there all along. All along, I know. I know. $470,000. $470,000 for the second time. It's up the back. We're going to have a little chat. You guys had to wait for me while I chatted with the gentleman in WA, so we're just going to give this gentleman 32.25 seconds over there on the right-hand side. We're lucky with the sunshine. $470,000. Are you coming back in, sir? I'll take a little one. I'll take a 500 if that makes it easier. Just a little 500. It was a killer bid, wasn't it? $470,000. How are we going over here, sir? $470,000. Confirm your bid. Thank you. $470,000 for the second time. For the third and final time. Are we all done? You don't want to come back in? I'm a patient woman. I'll wait while you think. $470,000. It's against you. $470,000 is against you. $470,000 for the third and final time. If you're all done, all silent, are we done? The property is sold to the lady at the back. Congratulations. Thank you very much for your attendance here today at this Ray White auction, and travel safe, and we hope to see you another day. Good luck with your house purchasing. I know it's a tough market for you. Thank you for attending.